Hey guys, it's me David and welcome back to week 16 of Building Mandalore. Okay, so I have been hyping up this big, tall, humongous wall that's going to go behind the mock and it's going to, I don't know, it's going to change everything. And I've been hyping that up and we're finally going to start working on that today. So this is an exciting episode because this is the beginning of the end. Not really, because even if we get the wall done, there's still the interior to go, but we're getting there. We're absolutely getting there. I'd say the mock actually by now is roughly 60, 70, probably 65% complete, maybe 60%. I don't know. But regardless, we're getting there. It's coming along. I'm very excited. Another thing is we're going to be working on some windows, and then I also have a surprise for my Clone Wars fans out there. Can't wait to show it to you. So if you have watched the Clone Wars show, and specifically the Mandalorian episodes, I have something fun. It's kind of like a teaser for what's to come for the interior on Mandalore, which I've kind of been low-key about. Haven't talked much about what I'm going to do. And today you're kind of going to get like a sneak peek of sorts to what I'm planning for the interior. So can't wait to show you guys. I'm also going to talk about Chapter 4 of The Mandalorian, which actually came out today of when I'm releasing this episode. So I'll talk about that at the end, so that way there's no spoilers at the beginning. So without ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video right now, guys. So throwing ourselves right into it, we are going right into building this time, guys. No explanation or anything like that. I've already started building, and as you can see here, I finally have all those window panels up now. I've been kind of hyping that up for quite some time. Huge bricklink order came this week with all these blue, light bluish, not light bluish, but light blue panels, and boy, do they look good. I absolutely love the look of them. I'll go ahead and just swing over here, and you can take a look at the other side. It's looking great. And then I also also did this side too. I was like, you know what, why not? Let's do it all. So yeah, this is 200 panels, believe it or not, and I still actually didn't have enough to finish over there in the corner. But it's looking really great. I absolutely love the way this looks. But here's the thing. I actually think it's too tall. And let me explain why I think that. I think this top layer right here is too tall. I think we should take this top layer right here off and lower it so that this part is the top. Reason why I bring that up, let me show you the picture of the Mandalorian Concept Art. You can kind of see here that it's really, there's not much space right there, and it's looking too tall right now, and I think it's better off to take this entire top layer on. I'm gonna want your guys' feedback on this, so I'm curious to see what you guys think. I can always add this back, but I think I'm actually gonna take this top layer off both sides. I'm curious to see what you guys are gonna say, so by all means comment below. Do you like the top layer, or do you think it should remove? So with that in mind, let's go ahead and actually remove the top layer so you guys actually see what that looks like. So let's go ahead and do that now. And there it is, guys. So again, comment below. Do you like the second window off? This is definitely more accurate to the concept image art that I've been basing this entire mock off of. Here's the other side. I actually, since I have more panels, since I took off that top layer, I was able to actually finish it over here as well. But yeah, what do you guys think? I'm curious. I kind of like it mainly because it's more accurate personally. So I'm leaning towards this, but if a lot of you in the comments really like that top layer, I'll add it back next week. So looking forward to the comments down below. Much more to actually be built this week, guys. So let's go ahead and keep on building, because this is only the beginning. Alright, so this goes out to all my Clone Wars fans out there. Should be able to figure this out if you've seen the Star Wars The Clone Wars. This is based off of Season 5 of the show. If you can't tell, that is Obi-Wan Kenobi right there in his Mandalorian armor with a chrome lightsaber as a little extra fun to add to the character. I got some Mandalorians right here. And what I'm trying to actually recreate is that pretty iconic scene from the 5th season of the Clone Wars. It's basically when Obi-Wan is escaping Mandalore. They're going through this, it's him and Bo-Katan with some Death Watch Mandalorians. They're going through this kind of tunnel type of thing. And they get to the end of it, and these big doors open up to reveal this almost apocalyptic scale battle going on between the Mandalorians, between the good Death Watch Mandalorians versus the Darth Maul Mandalorians. Now, granted, I just have 2 Mandalorians right here to, give you the idea, but of course it's going to be a lot more epic. Now, I also note that, of course, this mock is a Siege of Mandalore mock based off the 7th season of the Clone Wars, so it doesn't make sense to have Obi-Wan and Kenobi in it. Regardless, I still wanted to include this scene because I thought it's so iconic to Mandalore. Based off the Clone Wars show, I wanted to include that really badly, so I'm going to do it anyways. So if anybody has a problem with that, you can take it up with me. I'm pretty sure everybody will let this pass because it looks so good. But yeah, I went ahead and built some of those hangar doors. It's a very specific design, actually. It's a little strange, but that's how it looks. Believe it or not. Kind of reminds me of a jack-o'-lantern. But yeah, so very excited to do that. And so the plan is to basically make this entire back area a courtyard that is war-torn, apocalyptic looking, completely battle damaged with fire, craters, just the whole 9 yards of just damage. I know a lot of you have been asking, David, are you planning on, putting fire and breaking windows and making the whole mock look war-torn since it's going to be a Siege of Mandalore? And while, yes, I will do some of that in some areas, it won't be as war-torn as this back courtyard area will be. And I'm sure a lot of you were wondering, well, isn't this an inside area? Well, after some further investigation, I realized that the Duchess Palace, while it is behind this massive wall, on the other side of that wall is literally just more city. I was looking through the windows of the Duchess Palace and realized that even there's basically her palace kind of extends out here, and then it's just back to normal Mandalorian city. So that's exactly what I'm going to do on this back half, and I'll probably do something else on that side. But on this side right here, leading up to where the Duchess Palace will be right around here, this is all going to be a courtyard with tons of battle damage, and I cannot wait to do that. So this door is kind of like that first step into that. And part of the reason why I built just this door is this is going to connect into this larger wall that I've been kind of talking about for the last couple of weeks. So this needed to be made now. And so, hence why I'm working on it, because I haven't been working on really any interior details up until now. But that needed to be made. I'll make the actual tunnel here in a few weeks, so it's not a priority to get that done today. But regardless, I think a lot of you will probably enjoy this. I think it looks pretty awesome. Oh man, I like the way that looks. That looks so good. Yeah, this turned out great. Just doing some snot technique. I was almost gonna say stud. I'm like, no, it's not. Stud's not on top. I got some of that going on here to make the door work. It's not a really complicated design. It's a strange looking door design, I'll tell you that, but it does look really good. Really happy with the way it turned out. So it's the first step into our larger wall that we're going to start working on. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like as we go ahead and continue. Okay, guys, so quite a few hours have passed by, mainly because I just got into work mode, and then I was like, oh, wait, I also need to show this progress. So here's what I have been working on. Again, we were just looking at this doorway, and you can kind of see how that integrates into all of this wall here. Again, this is the start of what will be such a giant tall wall that will go all the way to the other end of the mock. So very exciting that we're finally starting the base of the structure now. That is good. You also see I'm kind of utilizing some interesting techniques. I'm trying to use as little brick as possible, filling in and using columns or support structure beams, whatever you want to call them. And they're working out pretty well. I know these pieces specifically aren't really that cheap on Bricklink anymore, but I got them a couple years ago, and I didn't think I was going to be using them for anything else in this mock, so I was like, I'll just use them as support beams. So I know some people are like, oh my god, you have all that and you're wasting it on that, but I mean, I have no other purpose for them, but it works, and that kind of transitions into kind of this other pattern that I've been utilizing. For example, over here on that big beam structure for the air vents. So that's kind of coming back, making its little return here as well. So quite a lot of progress. Again, this is the beginning of what will be such a big and giant wall. I cannot express that enough. Another thing that I've been doing is I went ahead and took some 6x6 tiles here and put them along on top of the windowsill. area, just so that you get an idea of like, hey, this is all going to be flat like this. It's just going to be a flat gray roof, just this basically extended. So I wanted to give you guys kind of an image of what exactly that will look like. Again, because I'm talking earlier, I was talking about like, do you like these windows? How I'm basically shrinking them. So I wanted to also show, what that kind of looks like as well. Now, if we move on over to the other side, the actual pretty side of it, you'll see that I've done quite a bit of progress over here, specifically in this area. So that's pretty much what it looked like before, after. So quite a bit. Put in that kind of plate right there. This whole structure right here is new. And then this was here, except it didn't have a side piece right there, and I was actually able to line it up with Lego bricks pretty well, actually. That kind of worked out pretty good. And then basically all I need to do now is just basically do what I do here and just put a bunch of panels right there and cover all that up, and it'll look really good and almost finished in that corner area. So that's exciting. This right here is actually going to lead into a very, very large window, and I can't wait to get started working on that. Probably next week. We won't be touching that today, but I think it's looking really good. Great start to this giant wall. I'm really, really looking forward to continuing it next week. But yeah, it looks especially good actually when you get down to the lower angles. Like that looks really good, and you can even get a little bit of window right there. Yeah, that looks great actually. Really happy with that. So good amount of progress this week. Can't wait to see what you guys have to say about the windows over here. Let me just back up a little bit and give you the kind of bigger perspective. That's always a fun look now. But yeah, it's looking great, guys. Mandalore is coming along as always. So we're going to go ahead and end it off here because I need to go order some parts off Bricklink in order to continue working on that area. So we'll pick that up next week. But yeah, let's go ahead and end it out, guys. All right, so what did you think? I am curious to see what those comments say about chopping that window off. I hope it's good. I hope it's a good reaction. I think it's probably the right choice. I think it looks a lot more accurate, and I think it was a little too tall. I could be wrong. Everybody could be like, no, David, absolutely keep it at that height. What's wrong with you? So I'll just have to wait and see. I'm looking forward to seeing the comments down below about that. On another note, we will absolutely be building more of this wall next week and the week after that, probably for the next couple of weeks. So it's going to be awesome because it's going to get taller and taller each week. So it's going to get even better. I apologize for like no time lapses this week. We're on the, I guess this is the left side, right side for you guys, I think. I think it's like the opposite on the camera. But because it's this side and it's like the first time I'm doing things, I'm kind of experimenting. I'm going back and forth on things. So it's not really great for time lapses because I'm like taking things apart constantly and putting them back together. So it's like a mixed process. So I apologize for that. On the last thing I just want to touch on, which is Chapter 4 of The Mandalorian. Thought it was a fantastic episode. Kind of got some vibes from the Clone Wars, specifically those Felucia episodes where like the bounty hunters trained the little alien guys. I think it was on Felucia, could have been a different planet. And I think they were fighting off the droids or something. They had to like protect themselves, something like that. I forget. And I think Ahsoka's in that episode too. I think I'm thinking of the right episode, but Chapter 4 of The Mandalorian totally reminded me of that. And of course, Dave Filoni wrote a lot of the Clone Wars show, and he's obviously a huge part of the Mandalorian TV show. So it's kind of funny to see that kind of, contrast, if you will. Some things playing from the Clone Wars into the Mandalorian. I don't know, little things like that I enjoy. It was a great episode, very Western-esque, which I kind of enjoyed quite a bit. And I was also really shocked how they made the AT-ST of all things feel like a horror type of vehicle. So that was really cool. But overall, great video, or not video, but show or chapter. I don't even know what to call it, but it was a fantastic episode, basically. It's also great to see the Star Wars community finally coming around. Everybody's agreeing that the show is amazing. No controversy, Last Jedi. So that's great to see that everybody is back on board with Star Wars and everybody's happy. So that makes me happy. But that's going to be it, guys. I'll see you guys next week. We'll again be continuing continuing. Oh man, it's late right now. Continuing on the back wall. So looking forward to that. Hope you guys have a great and wonderful day. Bye-bye.